because for its time it was so well done.
It was for its time.
I mean, okay, but did you see the Saruman dies scene?
I've seen it all, yes. And
Your fireball.
For its time, it was excellent, and it's still excellent.
It's still pretty good.
Hi, and welcome to the Book Bar, where everything bookish is on the menu. I am Anne Jeanette Barr, and this is my oldest child, my son. What's your name?
My name.
His name is his name.
Yeah, I'm Aiden, and I am holding a book.
Okay, so this is Aiden, and he's going to help me today with a very fun book tag. So we are going to do the Tolkien Tag, which was originally created by Andrea Heckler. And I heard about it from another booktuber named Rosie, and I'll put both of their links down in the description box. So we've both read the Lord of the Rings series, including The Hobbit, right?
Although I had much less fancy books.
Yes, this is a new fancy edition, because I'm rereading them now for the first time in quite a few years. And I wanted nice, pretty copies. But we do have another set.
That she forced me to read.
Right.
She wanted these ones for herself.
Yes. And he's still reading that set, and I'm reading this set. And
for you.
Yeah. So you read it first. Well, actually, I'm not going to ask you anything because I think it's in the tag. So let's just get...
It is.
Wow. It is. So let's just get started with the questions. And as we answer these questions in the Tolkien Tag, you'll learn about our thoughts of Lord of the Rings, okay?
Yeah, specifically this book, this one.
The Fellowship, that's the one we're rereading right now. I'm rereading, he's done rereading. Yeah, okay. Let's just get into the tag then. So question number 1 is, how does your Middle-earth story begin? So I guess when I'm asking questions, you can answer it first and then we'll switch.
All right.
Okay.
It was like back before we moved to Alaska. We just...
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It might have been just like when we moved to Alaska.
Okay.
I think me and Dad read Fellowship, or like halfway through it.
Okay. So that would be like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we all started watching the movie.
Yes.
Because that's our favorite movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think, I don't remember when, but I think I did read The Fellowship.
Okay.
And I might have just watched the movie so many times that I knew the story. And then I did reread it recently, like the entire series, like probably not even a year ago.
And now we're reading it again. Yeah. So this is at least your second and a half read through, maybe your third, or maybe
possibly.
Not. Yeah.
It could be.
Okay.
But it could also not.
Okay. And for reference, are you okay with him knowing how old you are?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's 13 and a half. So.
Already?
Yeah. All right. So my Tolkien story began in high school when the movies were coming out. So I was older than you, but not that much older. And we found out that the movies were coming out, and my friends were excited, and I had never read any of them. I think I had heard of them, but not read them, and decided to try and read each book before each movie came out. And I think I managed that with most of them. So that first time that I was reading them for the first time, it was high school and college. And then I do remember that I was 18. It was the summer after graduation from high school when I read The Hobbit, so I may have done them a little out of order. I might have done Fellowship, then The Hobbit, and then the others. But I think the last movie came out while I was studying abroad in Japan, so it would have been actually right before that, right before I left, so I would have been like 19, 20. So this reread of mine, it's been quite a long time, but I've watched the movies. I know.
Wait, you're old.
I know. So I've watched the movies so many times, and I love them so much that I could just have them on in the background.
She has done that multiple times, actually.
Okay, question number 2.
All right. What is your favorite Middle-earth book?
Okay, so this goes even past Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. This is just Middle-earth in general. And I do have a few more that I have read. I've read the Unfinished Tales, and I've read part of the Silmarillion. But I still think my favorite Middle-earth book is going to be Two Towers.
Yeah, that probably mine too.
Yeah, because we're already familiar with the characters, we're invested in the world, the action's happening, but we don't know what's going to happen yet. So I feel like it was a really good moment in the series. And I wanted to read the Silmarillion, the whole thing this year, and I got just the first maybe 3 chapters, and I really liked them.
It's a book.
Yeah, it's different, right? But I was reading it and will continue reading it with the podcaster Tea with Tolkien, and she does commentary in her podcasts that help you understand what's going on. But I just had too much to read, so I'll get back to that. So your favorite Middle-earth book?
Either between it's definitely between Two Towers and Fellowship.
Yeah.
Honestly, probably Two Towers still, just because the Rohirrim are cool.
Yes, I agree.
Especially.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I like Helm's Deep. Helm's Deep is awesome.
Yeah, I think there's a question about the movies coming up. Yeah, that's next. So, I'll just ask that then. What's your favorite movie?
Two Towers just for Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
But other than Helm's Deep, definitely The Return of the King.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, just because the fight scenes, like the last battle, especially.
Yeah. I
but
can see that.
Two Towers pretty much just for Helm's Deep.
Yeah.
That was really well done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So my answer is the same. That my favorite movie is Two Towers for the same reason it's my favorite book, and because of Helm's Deep, that is my favorite portion. And I do love the Rohirrim, everything about Rohan, and actually I like it in the book even more than I do the movie. But I think Fellowship is a little too sweet at times. Like at the beginning, it doesn't have enough tension. There are parts. It's like all the classic one-liners are. There's a ton of classic one-liners in Fellowship, so it's not that I don't love Fellowship. I love every single one of them, and I can just speak along with all of them. But by the time we get to Two Towers, yeah, there's a lot of tension. And Helm's Deep is a great battle scene.
Yeah.
And then
my favorite in the movie.
Yeah, and then Return of the King is so dark in places, and I feel so bad for Frodo and Sam, especially Frodo, that Return of the King is kind of a roller coaster. So Two Towers. Yeah. So question number 4, you can read for me.
All right, movies or books?
Well, this is a BookTube channel.
It is.
And I think it's hard to answer because if it weren't for the movies, I probably wouldn't have known about the books for a long time, if ever. So I have a lot of gratitude for the movies, and I think that the movies are excellent. But if I had to throw one away and keep the other, I would keep the books.
Okay. Movies for me, honestly, just because for its time it was so well done.
It was for its time.
I mean, okay, but did you see the Saruman dies scene?
I've seen it all, yes. And
you're right. Fireball.
For its time, it was excellent, and it's still excellent.
It's still pretty good.
Yes, it was before you were born, so saying before its time is okay. It just cracks me up. All right. Who are your favorite characters? So I think this could be book and movie.
Gimli is extremely funny.
In the book or the movie?
Both.
Yeah.
I like Aragorn, but more when he's like Strider, like in Fellowship.
In Fellowship.
Yeah.
Because he's like mysterious and
yeah. Although in the books, like in some of the lore, Aragorn is much cooler throughout the entire series than the movie.
Yeah.
So that is my answer.
Gimli and Aragorn. Okay. Those are good characters, and I like them both as well. I think Galadriel is my favorite. She's my girl.
Yeah.
I think she's cooler in the movie than in the books, actually.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I just think Cate Blanchett is a fantastic elf queen. But other than Galadriel, yeah, Aragorn might be my second favorite, but book Aragorn.
Book Aragorn, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Whose turn is it? Mine.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, I think it's my turn because I did movie.
Okay, number 6.
All right. What Middle-earth race would you be?
Yeah, I'm totally an elf. Maybe that wasn't as reserved and appropriate as I should have been to be an elf, but I'm definitely an elf. I don't know if I like which elves. You know, like the wood elves were kind of mischievous, so it's not like you have to be straight-laced to be an elf. But I just think they're so intriguing because they're not immortal, but they have this long life with this long knowledge and more of a connection to Middle Earth than any of the other species in some ways, because they've been around longer, and they're also kind of impartial, which is good and bad. But they're impartial except for what makes cool movie scenes. Well, sure. Like Comsey.
Yeah. And the battle of like the 3 armies.
Sure. Yeah.
That one was really good.
Yeah. So yes, I am an elf. I have appreciation for the other races, but what about you?
It's between a hobbit or a dwarf.
Yeah.
The dwarves aren't really doing well in the first, like in the movies and stuff, but they're kind of picking up all the scraps towards the end and after the books, which.
Well, and also we can think about the Hobbit too, not just Lord of the Rings. In the Hobbit, of course, dwarves play a huge role.
But the Shire's awesome.
What do you like about the Shire?
Food.
Yes.
Probably a hobbit.
Yeah. Are your feet hairy?
Probably.
When was the last time you... Never mind.
Next thing.
Next one. Let's see. Okay. I've already lost track. Whose turn is it to read?
Wait, it's your turn.
Oh, my turn to read. Okay. Number 7. Well, we kind of are. I already answered this. Best actor character casting match.
Huh.
So you could think about the Hobbit movies too, the 3 of those. Yeah. We've obviously seen Lord of the Rings more times, but...
I haven't seen The Hobbit in a while, actually. Honestly, Sam. Sam's actor does a really good job at being the sidekick.
Yeah.
But after that, probably Frodo.
Yeah.
Because Frodo also does a really good job.
Yeah. You think they really...
At being depressed. And...
You would be too.
Yeah. I think Sam's actor does a really good job, but also all of them do.
Yeah.
Like, all of the actors were really good at their roles in this movie.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of an actor that I don't like in their role, and I can't think of any of the primary actors that I didn't enjoy as those characters. I think Gandalf and Saruman together as a pair, and representing the different capabilities of like wizards with lots of power and
Cool beards.
And cool beards, cool staves, resisting that power or not. They're just a really cool dynamic, and they both did a good job. I love Gimli in the movie. He's just so good.
So funny.
He's just so good. So I really do like those. They really should
have given Gimli more screen time.
I think they gave him about as much as they could, but I could have handled more. I mean, they gave him Treebeard too, kind of. It's the same voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like the wizards. I agree with you. Frodo and Sam nailed their roles. It's interesting. Frodo in the book and Frodo in the movie are not the same character.
No, not at all.
But the way they rewrote the movie, it fits that story, right? He fits his character. He's just not the same Frodo as the Frodo in the book.
I kind of like Frodo in the movie better.
Yeah? Yeah, well, so Frodo in the book, like for those of you who haven't read it, he's like 50 when he starts his journey, and he put it off for 20 years or something ridiculous. 20 years, right? Yeah.
No, 30.
He turns 33.
No, yeah, 20 years.
33 is when it was the age he turns on Bilbo's birthday, when Bilbo disappears. And then he's like 50 something by the time he actually...
Yeah, it's kind of off.
So no, I really like what the screenwriters did in the movie to bridge, just to make that a little more understandable, because it's really hard to have like a 20-year gap and make him look still young, because hobbits live longer. Anyway, yeah.
Galadriel's actor, though, probably one of the best.
But Galadriel, she's like
it's
scary
awesome.
Cool. She's like just amazing.
And her actor, forgot her name.
Kate Blanchett.
Yeah. I mean, other movies too.
Yes,
Evil Elf Queens, Ragnarok. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, she's really, really good, and
incredibly.
It's easy to believe that she's both like captivating and can like draw Gimli in, and then like
scary.
Terrifying and powerful. Yeah, she's great. Okay.
Next question. It's my turn, right?
Yes, number 8.
All right. What is your favorite place in Middle Earth?
Oh, Lothlorien. I was like, yes, what is your favorite place? Lothlorien is my favorite place in Middle Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's beautiful, and I want to live there.
The trees are cool.
I just think, well, in the movie especially. So in the book, Tolkien has done some illustrations, actually, and like his illustrations are not as cool, but like he would even say that, because Tolkien said multiple times that he didn't love his art. He wasn't an artist. He did a fine job, but like the things you can do with cinema compared to what Tolkien himself could do with pencil and paper.
The trees are awesome, because here we have like branches all the way to the ground.
Yeah.
Instead of just like...
Yeah.
And you can easily climb the trees here with like, if you have gloves and are careful. But, like, imagine trying to climb one of those trees.
Yeah.
It'd be terrifying.
Yeah, just the idea of living in a tree up where you can,
It's cool.
Very cool.
My favorite place, I would have loved to see Moria, like, before the great tragedy.
I agree. Was there very much of Moria in The Hobbit? Was there any of Moria in The Hobbit?
I think they mentioned it, but it was mostly the Lonely Mountain that they talked about.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. We didn't get to see it in all of its splendor, really.
I imagine it would have looked something like the Lonely Mountain with all those tunnels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But both of those giant dwarf cities got wrecked.
Yeah.
The dwarves really have it rough.
They have had it rough. And when you read the Silmarillion, they had a rough start.
Yeah.
Did you read part of that?
Weren't they worms or something?
No. They were like the dwarves were created before they were before the Valar were given permission to create to create. So like the Valar were given permission to create men when it was like time, but one of the Valar was like, "Oh, but I want to create now," and so created dwarves like out of clay, kind of, you know. And then the kind of god figure was like, "Okay, well, I'm not going to punish the dwarves for your mistake, but like it's not time yet, so we'll put them in the mountain and you know, save them until it's time." And then like they've just gotten the short end of the stick.
Gimli was making like a colony in some magical cave, like towards the end of the book. I remember reading that, or was it in one of those lore books that we have?
Maybe, I can't remember. But you've read those David Day books.
Those are
more
really
than
good.
I
We
have.
should do something on those sometime.
Well, if I ever read them, yes.
You should read them.
I know, I should. Well, in the movies, in the Mines of Moria scene, I love just the little hint of all of those gigantic pillars as they're walking through, and you just imagine the magnitude if it was all glittering with gems and lit up with torches. Yes. Yeah, very cool.
And the Great Hall.
Yes, very cool.
All
right, I think we have one more question. All right, number 9, what is your favorite quote from the books or movies? I think... Oh, here. You can look through this if you want to. I have another copy. And I think I have some quotes marked. Okay, who's going first? I read it, so you go first.
All right. My favorite quote from Fellowship. Mushrooms!
Yes. That's awesome. So I think I'm going to do my favorite quote from Fellowship as well, because I've read it most recently. And on Tolkien Day this year, you know how I had us read some of the Tolkien poetry? I just still love the Aragorn prophecy. So the one that says, "All that is gold does not glitter, not all those who wander are lost. The old that is strong does not wither, deep roots are not reached by the frost. From the ashes a fire shall be woken, a light from the shadows shall spring. Renewed shall be blade that was broken, the crownless again shall be king." And it's
that one is really good.
Yeah, and it's not that it's like it's applicable to our lives or anything like that, but I just love the beauty of it, and also that it comes back, right? It comes back over and over again in the books as the prophecies are fulfilled, but also that's how they identify that Aragorn is a good guy, that Strider's a good guy, right? And also...
Oh yeah, that one.
So it was in the letter...
In the bar.
It was in the letter that Gandalf wrote and gave to the innkeeper, who never did give it back to them, I think, right?
No, he never,
Oh, yeah. So they finally got it. It was in the letter, and it was like, you know... P.P.S. Make sure that it's the real Strider. There are many strange men on the roads. His true name is Aragorn. And then they had this thing. And then when Frodo read it to him, and he was like, "Oh, okay, this really is the right guy." So yeah, that's my favorite that I actually have coming really soon. A wall hanging, not a wall hanging like this, but like a smaller one that my friend is making me that has that.
A tapestry.
It's actually a cross stitch.
So tapestry.
Kind of a tapestry, yeah. It is kind of a tapestry, yeah. But it's smaller, so it'll be in the background at some point.
A small tapestry.
Yeah. Oh, did you see my earrings?
Oh yeah, the Hobbit doors.
I have Hobbit door earrings. Yes. Yay. Oh, they're not light enough. Okay, I'll take a picture. Anyway, I think that was all of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there were only 9. Should have made it a multiple of 5.
You know, we didn't make the tag. Yep.
No.
Super sad.
Uneven.
Anything you would add? What would your question number 10 be? It'd be our bonus question. You can ask me
bonus
anything.
Question. Yep. Okay. Okay, what's your favorite moment from Fellowship specifically?
Oh.
Because we read that one.
Mm-hmm. You know, my favorite moment from Fellowship specifically, I'm going to kind of stretch a little bit, that they did not put in the movie is when the hobbits are going to, what's the town where Frodo purchased a house?
Purchased a house? It was...
Was it Bree?
No, it was Barley River or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It was Alcohol River.
What is it called? Oh,
Brandywine.
Brandywine Alcohol River. No, that's fine. Pretty close.
I'm right.
You're right. So that scene, because in the book you've got, I can't remember which one was already there, for, Pippin or Merry.
It was Merry.
So Merry went ahead and Pippin was with Frodo. Anyway, it showed Merry and Pippin were very brave and very loyal, and they did what they needed to do to get him to his home. The idea was that it would divert the Black Riders and anyone pursuing him, and also all the kind of nosy hobbits back in Hobbiton, from knowing where he was really going, right? It was like a diversion.
Yeah, we're going to live in Alcohol River. See you guys later. We're never coming back.
Right. And also there was that other friend, whom I've already forgotten his name.
Dingledorf.
I don't think that was it, but probably close.
Worm. I don't remember.
What was his name?
It was something super regrettable. Not regrettable, forgettable.
Possibly also regrettable. Anyway, I love that he stayed behind to kind of like fake out the Black Riders. It just showed the hobbits were very, very brave. All of them. Yeah. Frodo, Sam, Merry, Pippin, and Dingledorf.
it was either a G name or a B name.
Yeah. But in any case, he's not even in the movie. Yeah. And we get this kind of picture in the movie of like the hobbits are very timid and skittish and like can't muster up the courage. But along that journey...
Except for the main characters.
Yeah, but along that journey we find out that like Merry and Pippin go exploring all the time, and that they have, relationships with the Bree folk and, all these things. And this other hobbit that's never even mentioned in the movies is basically willing to, if not to sacrifice himself, to at least act as like a decoy, right? Yeah. And stay behind at this house. Or
he could just be Frodo's friend and like helping him move in.
Right.
Like normal friends do.
Sure, but he didn't. It was more than that. In any case, I really enjoyed that journey from Farmer Maggots to...
Farmer Maggots? That's his name?
No! What is his name?
Mushrooms! That guy. The one they're always
That's
robbing.
Maggot. It was Maggot.
It was Maggot?
It is Maggot.
Why would anybody name their child Maggot?
The question is, why didn't we think it was strange when we read it the first time? Okay, in any case, I can't even remember if that was actually before or after they got to their house in Brandywine.
No, that was before.
Yeah. So that whole journey from there.
They actually invited them into their house for food.
Yes, yeah.
And which was not in the movie.
Yeah, right. So that whole journey from there until they actually take off isn't in the movie, and you learn a lot about the hobbits. Mm-hmm. So that's my favorite moment in Fellowship, because there's a lot of backstory and character development. Mm-hmm. What about you?
I did not expect you to ask me that, because I thought, okay. Should have been preparing this entire time.
Mm-hmm. You should have.
Honestly, the bridge in Moria that I know the name of. Like, okay, actually, still in Moria, but the fight
Khazad-dûm.
Khazad-dûm. Mm-hmm. The fight in Durin's like tomb. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite moment.
Yeah, you know what I forgot?
Although that's more of a movie moment.
Yeah, no, but it was a great moment.
Still Fellowship.
Yeah, and I forgot that Lothlorien is in Fellowship too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot. It covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, isn't it the biggest book? Maybe Return of the King is bigger.
Well, and you know that when he made these, he made them all as one.
Yeah.
So it wasn't intended to be 3 parts necessarily. It is hard to kind of remember what exactly happens in each one because they're so continuous.
In our book set, at least, Fellowship is either bigger or just as big as Return of the King.
All right. Well, now I feel like I need to get on with my reread. And make sure that I
going to
finish it this year for sure.
Yeah.
And you're ready to read Two Towers again? Yeah. All right. Well, maybe we can actually do a book-by-book recap for YouTube if I get my act together.
Yeah, hopefully you do, because it took you like 2 months.
I know. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this book tag, and if you want to do it, I'll link the original, like I said, and I'll also put the questions so you can just lift them from there. Please give recognition to the original tagger, though. And yeah, thanks, Aiden, for joining me. I appreciate you being on my channel.
Yay.
Hey, bye!
See you.